Hey there, welcome to y'all on TikTok. We're here behind the scenes. Get ready to start. We'll talk with RN Diva. It's our 25th podcast. So we're going to celebrate. We're about to go live in about 30 seconds. I'm going to share this with the people right now. As we talk about these stories, you can definitely let us know. Put the comments down there. We may read some of the comments that you do this performance, right? Pastor Robert The RNDiva, and I'm so glad that you joined me here. I have something I want to let you know. You see how high gas is? You see we have a baby formula shortage. We also have food that's high. Inflation is high. What is going on? Well, things may get worse before they get better, and you need to be prepared. Go to preparewithrobert.com. Go to preparewithrobert.com. Brought to you by My Pager Supply. Get emergency food kits right there for 2,000 plus calories a day. You're going to need that. It's brought to you by My Pager Supply. Go to preparewithrobert.com. Don't be left behind. Be ready now. Let's go. Welcome to another Real Talk with the RN Diva, Pastor Robert. I'm Pastor Robert, and you are?
I am the RN Diva. That would be me.
Oh, she's so smooth. She's so smooth. She's so smooth.
That's me.
That's you. She's so smooth. I'm so excited that you've joined us here. Those of you over there on TikTok, come on, be a part of the party. We got this is a special podcast tonight. And also those of you on YouTube, all 19,800 of you, come on, share this with some people right now. For those of you on X.com, go ahead and share this right now. Put it on your feed. And those on Facebook, we're so glad that you have joined us. We've got some great stuff for you. But let me tell you this. Diva, do you know what today is? What's today? What today is? Today is our what?
Our 25th podcast.
Ooh.
Yup, it is. Yup. I'm happy.
Yeah.
We went through 25. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, I tell you what, this has been fun. Celebrate.
It's time to celebrate. It's a celebrate.
It's
a celebrate. Like Mr. Brown said, it's a celebrate.
It's been fun, these 25 episodes, and I'm so excited about the next 25. And so we're going to really go on in. So everybody wishes a happy 25th podcast. Yay!
Yay!
Sharing this, give us some likes, give us some hearts, and give us some love. All right?
Coinage.
Some coinage. That's right.
Listen. You're not shaming my game. Coinage.
I know that's right. I know that is right. Diva, can you tell us what's been going on in your neck of the woods?
Besides this contact lens struggle that I'm going through, everything's smooth. I can't complain. I have no complaints. So
that's good.
All is well.
That's good. Oh Lord, she
watch out.
Watch out. Watch out. She actually quoted the scriptures. A song like here.
Yes. I had to put on the old glasses tonight because
a song like here. Hold on a second here. We got a little feedback going there. That's all right. I tell you what, I'm glad you're feeling good. I like those glasses. Are those new?
This is the old Malcolm X frames. So these will be my Malcolma X frames.
All
right. No boy.
See you. I see you, but can you see us?
Oh, I see it all.
Uh-oh.
Trust that. And then I got on my hat, and I got on my slippers to match.
Oh, okay. You gonna show us your feet?
No, I don't do feet. We ain't doing that.
You gonna do that? Okay, well, all right. I think that would be a little too bit. What they say, TMI?
That's a little
TMI. That'd be a little TMI. I don't know. There's some people out there they like feet.
Yeah, you know what?
Ladies and gentlemen, before we get started to our first story, I do want you to know, those of you here on TikTok and those of you joining us on whatever platform you're on and wherever you podcast, I want you to know that we're about to hear a couple of serious stories. But here's the thing. I want you to share this, give us some likes, and then share this podcast with those you know. Do you know who we had last week that was watching and listening to our podcast?
Who would that be?
The super mayor, Tiffany.
You lost?
That was her.
Okay.
That was her. She started her podcast. She started her new YouTube channel, and she started a podcast that began this week. And we I'll put it like this: her first podcast was 30 minutes long. 30 minutes, no sound. Yeah, she went the whole 30 minutes. With
Wait,
no sound.
Hold on. Roll that back. You just sat up here and said that the person that was trolling us was actually Tiffany Henyard.
That was Tiffany Henyard, the super mayor. She
just started
her YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm. And that's the one that was flirting with you, but going off on me.
She wasn't flirting with me. She was just going after you.
No, she took my old caramel macchiato.
Oh, I thought she was talking about you.
Good. There ain't nothing caramel about me. Boy, stop playing with my emotions. I know that wasn't her for real. How did you confirm that? Did you confirm
because
that?
I went to that YouTube channel to see. And it's Super Mayor Tiffany Henyard. She just started it because she started her podcast, which is available on Spotify and YouTube. I'll give her a shout out.
Why would you give her a shout out?
Because it's a train wreck. But anyway, if you want to be entertained, it's a train wreck. I told you the first podcast, the whole 30 minutes of video, there was no sound. So she was just talking.
From the comments that she was making towards me, I can honestly say I see why she behaves the way she does with the people that work for her, and I see why because she is a hateful person. Hateful person. And those type of people don't last long because karma is a bitch.
That's right.
And Miss Henyard, you ain't gotta ever think I'm pretty. I do. Thank you.
Giddy up.
Bye. Little Wayne-ish.
Let's get a little Wayne-ish.
You could have
Super Mayor, who's it is what it is. Let's go to our first story here. This story here. Thank you, Diva, because you're the one who let me know about this particular story and what's been going on. Squatters. We're going to be talking about squatters and sub-squatters. Isn't that something? Here's the deal here. This is from the New York Post. And these stories are now, because I'm paying attention to it now, these stories are coming up quicker than we can even imagine because there are a lot of states that do not have protections for homeowners. And now we have people that are, especially now since we're having an invasion at the southern border, that now they are, and I'm going to show you in a moment here how some of the Venezuelan gangs are planning on, they found out from their contacts through here, and they're actually going on social media and letting people know, hey, this is how you can go ahead and basically steal someone's home when you come to America. Oh, it's deep. It's deep. Isn't that something, y'all?
All you homeowners out there your ears need to perk up right now at the ready, right now, because this is something you're going to need to put on your radar.
Look at this. This is from the New York Post. This is from the New York Post today at 4:35 p.m. Eastern. Two squatters, look at it, watch this. Two squatters who took over New York City home of woman found beaten to death, stuffed in a duffel bag, sought for murder. Cops. Wow. Let's give you the kind of the backstory here. There was a lady in New York. Her home was vacant. And she went to her home, and there was a couple of men that were staying in the home. And when she called the police arrested her. Long story short, the police arrested her.
Wait a minute.
Yes, ma'am.
No.
Yes.
This is the owner?
Yes.
Oh, no.
Let's look at this. Two squatters are being sought over the gruesome murder of a 52-year-old woman whose body was found stuffed in a duffel bag inside her late mother's upscale Manhattan apartment last week, police said.
Okay, this is different. This is
a different one, but it's both in New York City there.
Yeah, this
the
is
victim,
different.
Nadia Vitale, was savagely beaten by the two perps when she discovered them holed up inside the 19th floor apartment on East 31st Street last week. According to the cops, having flown in from Spain, Vitale had gone to her late mom's apartment, which had been vacant for roughly 3 to 4 months, to start prepping it so the family friend could move in. We believe that the squatters took the apartment over and this woman came home and walked in on the squatters that were there. The NYPD Chief of Detectives Joseph Kinney said, the brutal beatdown left Vitale with blunt force trauma to the head, multiple facial fractures, a brain bleed, and 2 broken ribs, cops said. The perpetrators, who the NYPD haven't identified publicly, I wonder why, were captured on surveillance video, fleeing the apartment after the slaying and making off in the dead woman's Lexus SUV, and they took the woman's car. Good God Almighty. They fled across the George Washington Bridge through New Jersey to Pennsylvania, where they ultimately crashed the SUV in Lower Paxton Township. All right, here she is, beautiful lady there. Wow. Nadia Vitale was beaten to death. Came in the apartment. The apartment had been vacant for about 3 to 4 months, and squatters had moved in. Go ahead, Diva. I'll share the next story, part of this.
It shouldn't God, that upsets me. It shouldn't surprise me. People are so eager to take someone else's stuff and claim it as their own, and then get indignant and want to fight you about your stuff. Mm-hmm. That woman went in there thinking she's just going in and getting it squared away for her people. Man, that's not cool. And the whole thing is, even if she just left, she would have to shell out all of the money to get these people out of her rightfully owned townhome apartment.
Yeah.
I don't, at this point, we just need to say, all right, we need to do some vigilante type stuff and just start knocking folks out, because the cops got enough going on. They're not going to be able to handle the influx of what's happening, especially with this dude making an announcement and telling everybody how to do it. So it's going to be some vigilantism going on. I'm quite sure. And listen, I'm not mad at it, because if it was mine, I would do the same thing. I would make it a point to, I sit up out there, what I told you I was going to do last time. See, I wouldn't be able to do it with that one, because that's in an apartment, building. But if it's a freestanding type situation and it's mine,
oh my!
I know one thing: the insurance paid up.
Well,
I'm brokenhearted for that family. I really am.
Well, here's another story here with the woman. This is the woman that we were talking about earlier, and even last week on our podcast. DA's office fails to get into $1 million in New York City squatter home as another resident emerges and says and declares, "I'm renting." Okay, let's check this out here. Watch this. Okay, there they are going in there and just warning distressing content. And now listen, here's the story behind that one there. Here they are now. They got in there, and somebody, them squatters and then sub-squatters. Okay, sub-squatters. Investigators from the Queens District Attorney's Office were turned away at a $1 million Flushing home taken over by squatters Thursday, as another tenant claimed he was duped into subletting it. Did you catch that?
I did.
The squatters are sublease. "I'm not a squatter. I'm renting," said the man who declined to give his name. "I paid rent. I'm not a squatter. Everyone in there right now is paying rent. Yes, to the same landlord. It is no good. People are taking pictures of us and yelling at us," he said. "We are all paying rent. Everyone in there is paying rent. I don't want to live with the squatter." Huh? He emerged from the house on 160th Street just 20 minutes after 2 DA investigators repeatedly knocked on the door and tried to get in, but were left out in the cold and finally gave up. What in the world is going on? Why is this happening?
So basically, they have kicked it up a notch to now where the squatter was able to get back in the home. The owner was arrested and escorted out of the home. Her
Mm-hmm.
mistake was she opened the door. When he came
Right.
back, she opened, or was it still open? It probably was still unlocked. She didn't stop him from. She couldn't stop him from coming. He was a big guy. So now this piece of POS,
Mm-hmm.
this has now become the owner of the house in his mind. The squatter is now the head squatter. So now he's collecting rent from the people that are living there with him. So
Yeah.
he basically is paying how much are they paying? $1,500 a month
$1,500
to the head squatter.
to the head squatter, identified as Jay.
It
And with a supposed realtor named David Dubon getting $1,000 fee for brokering the deal.
needs to be arrested expeditiously, in the immortal words of Ti. So property owners, people who have properties out there that are renting out, and even just property owners, let me tell you something. You might want to perk up your ears, because here comes the gag. It doesn't necessarily have to be a vacant house. You could leave your house for a week to go visit someone, go on vacation. When
Right.
you come back, they have squatted in your. So it's not just vacant homes, it could be temporarily vacant. And they come in and they make themselves at home with your stuff.
Right. 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 Look at this. There's nothing. This is what someone said here. There's nothing in my right mind that could lead me to believe that there was going to be a problem like this. Belasti said, "I was brought in through a real estate. This means real estate agent. This is a great find. I bet it would. I bet it was. Thank you very much. And I love the place. I love the neighborhood. But I guess I paid $3,500 to the landlord, Jay. Jay spoke to the New York Post briefly, and claimed he was scammed into living in the house, but did not clarify and has not returned repeated calls. The bizarre standoff began when Adele Adeloro, whose parents lived in the house until they died, began preparing the house for sale when she discovered the squatters who had taken up residence. On February 29th, she showed up with a local TV crew and changed the locks, but was put in handcuffs by cops and issued a summons, watch this, for unlawful eviction because the occupants, although unwanted, had established squatters' rights under New York City law. Under the law, anyone who occupies a property in the Big Apple for at least 30 days can claim squatters' rights, which means the rightful owner has to work through the courts to kick them out.
Yeah, but how are they proving? How are they proving that they've been there for 30 days?
They say they show like a cell phone bill. I know one guy showed a cell phone bill. He had a cell phone bill coming to that. Another guy got some work done, like maybe have somebody come and paint the front door. You have an invoice that has the date on it that they said look like, well, I live here and I had some work done on it. I know those were two of the ways. But man, New York City, New York is in a mess with this. New York is in a mess with this. There's the guy there.
Which one is this? Is this the head
The man
squatter?
who claims he's paying rent and doesn't want to live with the squatter.
Then leave and
Then
just
get on out of
take
there.
it as a loss. If not, we're going to follow you with cameras and we're going to take your picture at every turn. That's what you need. Because there's going to be a time, because what goes around comes around. There's going to be a time when you have your stuff and somebody may take it from you.
Wow. Adele and Deloro, who wanted to sell her parents' home after they died, only to discover it had been taken over by squatters. She was the one that was arrested.
Right.
So now she has to go through the process as if she has tenants, which eviction doesn't take overnight. So she's got to spend money that she probably didn't plan on spending to get people out of her parents' home.
You know, if I were her, I would really push the issue, because if he's saying that the first guy, the head squatter, said he had a lease, so that had to come through the internet. If he had an electronic signature, it came through the internet. That's wire fraud.
Yeah.
She needs to get somebody that is absolutely like downright
Like Johnny Cochran.
Yes, God rest his soul.
Yeah.
You need somebody like that that's gonna take it to the house, because you need to be able to pull the whammy out on this one. You need that trump card. God forbid me saying that. You need that trump card. Yeah, you need that trump card. So I literally don't think that she would have to be. Why would people?
Yeah, it's mind-boggling.
Got me stuttering. I don't even stutter. If you sit and think about it, that's mail fraud, or that's wire fraud.
Wire fraud, yeah.
And that's mail fraud, because that's not your house. And you're getting mail there.
Well,
okay.
It gets worse. It gets worse because now there's a TikToker. I believe he's from Venezuela, and he's giving the instructions. Diva, TikToker tells illegal immigrants how to invade American homes and invoke squatters' rights. Check this video out, y'all. The influencer tells migrants to invade American homes and invoke squatters' rights.
He pensado invadir una casa en United States, ya que me enteré que existe una ley que dice que si una casa no está habitada, podemos expropiarla.
He's doing this on TikTok. He's giving instructions. This call to arms was surely not sitting well with homeowners who have been erased of a squatters' rights law.
The house came with something unexpected. A man living in their home, who they say refuses to leave.
So Adele, you're getting arrested right now?
Being arrested.
For what?
For being in my own home.
They need to send him back. He needs to go back. And every time he comes back, he needs to go back again.
There you go. There you go. So now they're giving instructions on TikTok to the Venezuelan gangs. Here's the deal with Venezuela. Venezuela it has been proven now, they have emptied their prisons. And all the prisoners are headed to the United States of America. So that young man there is giving all the points on what to do and how to do it. So when they come there, they can come here, they can get a place and have a house. And you think about it, you walk in your empty house and you see 5 or 10 or 15 Venezuelan gang members, that might be the last house you walk in. Because they don't have a problem killing you.
They do not. They do not.
They don't have a problem killing you. Yeah. So this is what's happening. Now, here's the thing on a side note here. The Biden administration, Department of Justice, sued the state of Texas in order to keep them from arresting and deporting the illegal aliens. Okay? Are you with me so far?
I'm listening.
Because they say that's the federal government's responsibility to arrest and deport them, not the state. However, the state of Texas appealed all the way to the Supreme Court. Today's Thursday, so that was Tuesday. Tuesday, the Supreme Court of the United States went ahead and reversed the order and said the state of Texas can start arresting and deporting illegal aliens that cross the border in Texas. All right. That was yesterday. Then as of last night or today or this morning, the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals reversed the Supreme Court ruling and said that Texas cannot arrest and deport illegal aliens. They have to let them stay and wait for the federal government to do it, which the federal government has not been doing it. This is why they are coming across the border like they're going to Disney World. And basically, the Border Patrol and everything can't do a thing about it. So, taking that with this Venezuela has emptied their jails and their prisons. And now they know they can come here and not going to get deported. Even if they get arrested, not going to get deported. Ladies and gentlemen, they're coming for empty homes. to have a place to stay. Now, thank God for those of us who are in Florida. And
because we got a crazy governor.
Florida has moved quickly to make a law to stop this from happening. So let's. I'm going to show you this this article. This is just almost really breaking news because here it is right here. Let's see this video here.
Florida lawmakers unanimously passed a bill that would boot squatters immediately. Our next guest had to get some intruders out on her own last year, leading to this.
I have every right to be in this house.
You don't have every right to be in the house at all.
do, ma'am.
You do not.
When
You do not. According to my lease, me and my girlfriend owns the house. No. I'm not touching you.
you are touching me.
Florida homeowner Patty Peoples now. Patty, it took weeks and cost about $40,000 in damages, but you got them out. How did you do it?
$40,000.
Well, we went the right way, and Florida, I think, is leading the nation in this quest to approach squatters legally and not use vigilante justice the way it should be. We worked together with Senator Perry and Representative Steele and worked 100% across the aisle and getting bill number 621 that gives police the ability to evict squatters. That does not exist.
Oh my God.
They're treated as a civil matter. It also charges squatters with a misdemeanor for squatting or presenting a false lease. And furthermore, it's a felony for them to do $1,000 or more damage to the property. And as you see, I would have had the ability to charge these squatters with felonies and misdemeanors if this law were enacted when I was going through the situation.
And Patty, what's amazing to me is that you actually, in the great state of Florida, were able to work with lawmakers and representatives to be able to find some recourse. This is not just a problem where you are, but it's a problem across the country. And unfortunately, in a lot of blue states and cities, the laws that you mentioned protect the squatters over the landholders. And there is no working with anybody to try to find justice. There's a case right here in New York where there's been a squatter, a family with a disabled child trying to get this squatter out of their home because that family needs a place to live, and they've been unable to do it.
This is not a blue state issue. It's not a red state issue.
Good,
it is
thank you.
An issue with the United States of America, and I don't want to encourage that particular narrative. This is happening in every single state because during the pandemic and dating back a few hundred years, there are property rights laws that protect squatters. And now with essentially laws that are being exploited by knowledgeable squatters, then they know how to maximize their ability to stay in the house using those laws. And as I say, this crosses party lines. This is a people's rights issue. The ability to access your property and to utilize something you have paid for. This is a fundamental right in the United States of America. And I encourage every citizen, no matter where you live, to write your representatives and your senators and let them know that there is a success story in Florida, and we got 100% bipartisan support. In fact, organizations that represent underrepresented communities fed into the dialogue and ended up not rejecting the bill. So we have had unbelievable success.
Thank you for sharing the success of your story on the show, Patty. Appreciate it.
Yeah, they cut her
Again,
off quick
I'll just
when
highlight
she
that
didn't go
because
with their
you
narrative.
This is 100% bipartisan support. Every citizen should be
God
outraged.
The only point I would make is in blue states, nobody is willing to look at the exploitation of the squatters laws and reverse them. In Florida, they were willing to do it.
She did say the important point, they have a model now.
Yeah.
Look at Florida, this is how you do it if you want to do it in your state.
As often Florida goes.
Be loud and proud.
A good model. Everyone else can follow.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true. But listen, it also cost them how much?
$40,000. Did you see her house?
Oh.
And that's in addition to the repairs she has to do.
Yeah.
So those nasty bastards went after they were told to get out and destroyed that woman's home, I would track them down and file charges. See, she just wants them out and wants it to be done. So they're just going to move on to the next person unless she goes and presses charges against them. And then she could probably deter them from doing that again.
Wow. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Or you could go my route.
Your route is vigilante.
Yes. And if it's mine,
call Pookie.
Call Pookie. Call Pookie and Ray Ray. But if it's mine, guess what? I'm gonna burn that bitch down. I'm gonna burn it down. Because one thing for sure and two things for certain, that insurance policy is paid up. And that's on God. People doing too much, man.
Way too much. I tell you what, that is a horrible situation. And all I can say is, listen, if you go on vacation more than a couple of days, you better grab somebody to guard your house.
Get security.
Get security. Get a sitter, house sitter.
Pookie or Ray Ray.
Yeah, and make sure give them a couple of dollars, give them some food to eat. They'll watch it. Let them play some video games. Whatever they got to do something, because especially with the rush of all the illegals that are coming here, and they don't care. I mean, they don't care.
They ain't got nothing to lose.
They have nothing to lose.
Because if they get sent back, which they're not being sent back, if they get sent back, they can come right back. Nobody's checking. That's always nice.
Yeah.
You know, the checks and balances are just checking and balancing. You know, that's always nice.
Horrible. Listen, put your comments down below. We want to hear what you have to say. Let us know, are you in a state that has very lax squatters' rights laws? Are you in Florida where now the law is on your side? We want to hear from you. Put your comments down below. Those of you on TikTok, let us know as well. We'll put your comments here, read your comments here and live on Real Talk with the RN Diva. Diva, I'm glad that you brought this to our attention, because there's a lot of people that don't know. Spring break is coming up. People getting ready to go on spring break and summertime vacation. And that could be the time that you end up in a situation that ain't too cool.
But you know what? And another thing too is Airbnbs. There are people that are that are renting out their Airbnbs, and these folks are not leaving. So
wow. Who knew, right? Who knew? Well,
yeah,
we'll be right back.
You need to be careful.
You need to be careful. You need to make sure you plan an extra, a little bit more now when you go on vacation, you leave, or you have a death in the family, something like that, because they are coming for you, and they are ready to do some damage here, these squatters and the sub-squatters. Yeah. We'll be right back. We're right after this message.
Are you guys ready for spring break? You better get ready. I don't know. It might be over this week. Tomorrow ends the spring break, and if you didn't get your rental car by now, it's not too late. Go ahead and call my friend Suzette or Anthony over at AS Costanzo Enterprises LLC and get yourself a luxury, top of the line, 5-star service. They are Turo car rentals, they are private car rentals, and you can get the pick of the litter. These are Chargers, Phantom, Jaguar. If you are interested in just driving a car because you're interested in buying one, go over and see if they have it and drive it. Run it around for the weekend, and you may very well like it to where you go ahead and buy it. You can have any car imaginable. They have it. I've seen them have so many different ones. So if you're looking for a rental car, if you have an extra car in your family, in your driveway, you can go ahead and call Anthony or Suzette over at AS Costanzo Enterprises and ask them how to get in on the game and see if you could put your car into their fleet and maybe you could make yourself some money. So basically, it's a win-win. They service Palm Beach, Miami-Dade, and Broward counties. They will even bring it to the airport for you. Nice, all nice and clean with a welcome gift in the back. You can't beat that with a stick, folks. So go ahead and give us a holler over here at 8S Costanzo Enterprises LLC at 954-494-1221. Again, that is 954-494-1221. And tell Suzette that the RN Diva sent you.
All right. We're so glad to have them as one of our sponsors here. A real talk with the RN Diva. I think it's time for me to plan something myself. You know what I'm saying, Diva? I like to go down south, go down to South Beach. You know what I'm saying? Ride around and hey out, see what's going on.
Get your little something. Get your little something.
Yeah. Woo, man! Did you see those cars?
Yeah, they're amazing, and they keep them so pristine and clean. They are very, very detail oriented. I'm pretty proud to have them as friends. They're family. We go way back.
That's cool. That's what's happening. Let's get into our next story. And now, I am starting a series. A series of episodes. Here it is. Here,
The Unlucky 13. First, we had Girls Gone Wild with fake Fani and Super Mayor Tiffany.
Yeah, Henyard.
So now we have kicked it up a notch. Go ahead on, Pastor Robert.
Well, I was sitting there, Diva, wondering why in the world are we finding all these stories of where these women that are in leadership, that are in these leadership positions around the country, usually it's DAs, mayors, are in politics, leadership in politics, but we find out that once they've gotten in, they end up in a scandal. And if you see there's about 13 of them, as Diva said here. And so we're going to be kind of looking at this to try to see, is this all just coincidental or is it something that's intentional? And our first story of the night is going to come from right up the street from where we are in the great city beautiful Orlando. Yes. Some of you may have seen it on TikTok today where we put the graphic there. Here's a story of where a woman who is a city commissioner, the only black female city commissioner of Orlando, and she has been accused, allegedly has committed some heinous crimes against, and really it's elder abuse, if nothing else.
It is elder abuse.
It's elder abuse. And so let's talk about this and see why this is happening. This is from Eyewitness News 9 in Orlando. Here we go.
All new at 6. An Orlando City Commissioner is under investigation tonight, accused of buying a facelift and other lavish items with an elderly woman's trust. We've got live team coverage breaking down those purchases, as well as the alleged relationship between that commissioner and the victim, according to a new lawsuit. We begin with those accusations against District 5 Commissioner Regina Hill. Good evening, I'm Greg Wormuth.
And I'm Kirsten Delgado. Commissioner Hill is accused of taking advantage of a 96-year-old woman, spending tens of thousands of dollars of her money on things like rental cars, clothing, and a vacation. Investigative reporter Shannon Butler joins us live in studio with more on this breaking state investigation. Shannon?
Well, this affidavit shows that Commissioner Regina Hill has been under an FDLE investigation for more than a year, accused of misconduct. The allegations in this paperwork include taking money from a 96-year-old constituent. The list of purchases spelled out right here include a facelift, perfume, a hotel stay in Miami, car insurance, and dental surgery. The withdrawals from the woman's account total more than $100,000. According to these documents, Hill and the 96-year-old woman had no prior relationship. It started when Hill became aware that the woman was living in deplorable conditions back in 2021, and it was her former aide who spoke to investigators. Here, we are just looking at the finances, and according to the FDLE investigator, the elderly woman had more than $164,000 in the bank, but now $100,000 of it gone. And charges on her credit card, they say, are now at nearly 10 grand. The woman told investigators that she didn't give Hill permission to use that money, but Hill is not quoted in these documents. But she told us on the phone today the allegations are false. Now, FDLE did not comment further on the investigation, and Hill has not been charged with a crime. But if Hill is charged, she could be removed from office and a special election could be held. The city said they had no information on our report, Greg.
All right, some reporting there. We will check back in. And Shannon, while we are not naming the woman involved, Commissioner Hill is accused of taking advantage of that 96-year-old woman. We do know that she has been a longtime fixture there in the Paramore community.
And until recently, Commissioner Hill had power attorney over that woman. She was also a trustee for her estate. Channel 9's Nick Papantonis continues our breaking team coverage tonight live on Lewis Court, where neighbors say Hill was living until just last week. Nick?
They told me authorities came to this door behind me last week and told Commissioner Hill to get out. But this is not the only house being looked at in the city of Orlando or around the city tonight. No one was home when we stopped by 170 Domino Drive Tuesday. The only sign of life was a City of Orlando dumpster parked in the driveway. Property records show the house has two owners, a 96-year-old we're going to call M, and Orlando Commissioner Regina Hill. The house is now the center of a lawsuit filed earlier this month accusing Hill of taking advantage of M for years and a connected criminal investigation. The lawsuit says a declining M granted Hill power of attorney in 2021, which Hill used to give herself and her son places to live and access to more than $100,000. Documents filed with Orange County show Hill named herself a trustee to M's estate, even signing the document on behalf of M, and used M's name to take out at least one mortgage in connection with Domino Drive. We also went to 3408 Lewis Court, another home owned by M. Neighbors say Hill lived in this house from August until last week when authorities showed up at the door to tell her to leave. The neighbors told us they thought it was because the house wasn't in Hill's district, but it happened a few days after a judge granted an injunction against Hill. When we called Hill about the accusations, she told us they were false, and she retained an attorney to fight them.
And that's okay, but do you mind telling me who your attorney is?
She refused to comment any further or tell us who that attorney was. M revoked Hill's power of attorney in February. One of the things named in that criminal investigation that Shannon was talking about just a moment ago is that Hill took a federal loan for the Domino Drive house, the house that, according to the affidavit, attorneys or the investigators believe was signed or had some fraudulent signatures as a part of buying that house. Live in Orlando, Nick Papantonis, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Have a sea breeze move.
There it is.
All right. She took a what kind of loan? Did you hear what they said?
Federal. Here comes the FBI.
She took a federal loan on a house that wasn't hers.
And forged the woman's name.
Yes. Oh, but it gets worse. Diva, if you would you read this story? You know the Daily Mail is going to always come on through. They're going to get even down to the nitty-gritty.
Cannot. Orlando Commissioner Regina Hill is accused of stealing $100,000 from elderly victim to fund spending spree on a new home, a facelift, and a trip to Miami in a years-long extortion plot. She allegedly spent the fortune getting a facelift. She might want to go get her money back or get another $96,000. Because if not, then I don't know. Is that okay? Why are you still laughing? Listen, this lady allegedly targeted this pensioner after meeting her on the job. So somewhere they met I don't know if it's
She lives in her district.
Oh boy. An Orlando City Commissioner allegedly exploited this lady, and she is accused by Florida investigators, and now here come the feds. Right now it's in FDLA's lap, but here come the feds. She secured a power of attorney over the unnamed elderly victim, which she used to buy a home, which also funding a lavish spending spree alongside using the woman's name to secure a mortgage federally. She also alleged that she splashed over $100,000 on a facelift perfume. I want to sniff her. I want to sniff her because I want to know what type of cologne perfume you raid that you are spraying on yourself, that you clothing, IV vitamins. That's that stuff that she thought was gonna perk her up, and she round here looking like the Walking Dead. A trip to Miami and dental surgery. According to court documents, baby girl Regina Hill, they coming to get you, sis. They coming to get you. She looked like. Hey, you remember the fire chief on
In Living
Color? Something. She kind of. Oh, but FDLE is on it, and they received a tip from one of her staffers who had been fired. So somebody was disgruntled. You better be careful who you got under you, and you treating just any kind of way, and all just throwing your weight around because you fired them, and they got back on you. Tiffany Henyard better watch yourself too, because if it were me, they gonna. I would sing like a canary. Tell it all. So yeah, so Miss Ma'am is over there getting facelifts, and she really should go back and get partial, if not all, of her money back from the gentleman or woman that did her facelift, because they didn't do anything.
She was had.
I'm gonna get me a facelift, since I need, facelift, because I look old. I need a facelift.
Whatever.
I'd rather need a facelift than need a whole face.
Look who was living in the house.
Her son, probably. Wait. Hill's son and girlfriend are believed to be living in the home, while Hill lives in a separate home that reportedly once belonged to the elderly woman's parents. She's a squatter, which she allegedly spent a large portion of the savings to renovate. She also is accused of racking up $10,000 in debt under the woman's name. So $96,000 for a facelift, $100,000 over here, $10,000 over here. Oh, there's more. Oh, the arrest included wait. Let me go back. Orlando Sentinel News emerged during her run that she had a rap sheet with 21 previous arrests. Ain't nobody checking nothing around here. Dating back to 1983, the arrests included drug offenses, DUIs, fraud, and passing bad checks. The bottom of the barrel, the gutter, just like the old girl, got a record, but they out there representing the people.
Yeah.
She was also arrested in 2022, very recent, in Birmingham for public intoxication. She can't hold a liquor. Oh, Lord, she can't hold a liquor. Okay. Hill's son, Rakeem, was also arrested in 2015 when a cache of guns and drugs were found inside a home she owned at the time.
See, this is what
I'm
talking about.
He's a stand-up citizen.
This is what I'm talking about. See, she got her teeth done, but that look still like crooked.
No, it's crooked. They need to go. I'm not doing it. I'm not saying it.
That's her son.
Well, is that a mugshot?
That's a mugshot.
Yeah, that sounds about right. The court documents reportedly stem from a petition from the 96-year-old woman's attorney to keep Hill away from the woman's properties and finances. Wherever that woman is, they need to put her in protection because he looked like he a thug. The petition reportedly led a judge to issue a temporary injunction a week ago. kicking Hill out of her home. FDLE Special Agent Steve Brenton reportedly asked the woman about signing over her power of attorney and said she recalled signing some sort of document but did not understand it and would have never agreed to allow Hill to be her power of attorney. Brenton continued that when he looked into Hill's spending, these purchases and or bank withdrawals exceeded $100,000 and solely benefited Hill. He said that while her home had undergone renovations, the home the elderly woman had been living in was in need of repairs. But Hill had allegedly not spent any money to fix. The agent's affidavit noted that before Hill met the elderly woman, she had over $164,000 in her bank account and around a $650 balance. As of October, she was left with $60,000 in her bank account and $10,000 on her credit card.
Woo-wee.
The person who blew the whistle, the former staffer named as Jacqueline Cockerham, come on, Jackie, said that Hill tormented her on the job, forced her to work long hours, and carry out her personal business. Folks gonna tell.
Who that sound like? Who that sound like?
Folks gonna tell. You right here throwing your weight around, and she came back for you. The personal business included cleaning the elderly woman's home, which she described as being littered with urine and cat feces.
It's a cat lady.
She a cat lady. The city of Orlando. She don't have any family or nothing? You don't have your own Pookie and Ray Ray? The city of Orlando released a statement after the investigation was launched, claiming it had only recently learned of the allegations. Somebody trying to cover their butt. The city had been made aware of the allegations. Aware of the injunction issued involving Commissioner Hill, a city spokesperson said, "We are not a part of the injunction and do not have any details on the allegations related to it." In other words, we'll know nothing.
Yes, and here's the thing about it, though. I'm gonna put that picture right back there. Here's the thing about it, though. She is still on the city commission because they can't do anything unless she's arrested. If she gets arrested, then they'll go ahead and do a special election. She's the only black female, only black female representing the predominantly black area near downtown Orlando, near the stadium and all that kind of stuff. So that's, again, our representation there in Orlando to the city and to the world, and she has to be the one doing what? Having people doing her personal business, defrauding one of her constituents. 96 years old. When you look at her rap sheet, Diva, it's one thing if it'd be wrong, but it's one thing if this is like her mama or her auntie. And
she don't even know this lady.
Right, and she took advantage of it. That's bad enough. But this is a total stranger. She saw that the woman was living in urine and cat feces and squalor. So she said, "Oh, let me go ahead and let me see what I can get," and bought a house and a 2 houses and all this stuff. There's another news organization, their news team there in Orlando that went to because she has to live in her district. So she wasn't living in her district at one point. So she goes there to the man that lives there, and she said, "Well, she comes by here every once in a while asking for her mail." So she living from house to house, pillar to post.
Listen,
and this is
she's just deceptive across the board.
Oh, what in the world is going? How are these people? Now, first of all, let me say this disclaimer. If you have a record and you've served your time, paid your debt society,
that's right. I'm here for that.
However, if you've been a thief, you cannot be around money or people because you're gonna be tempted to be a thief. If you're an alcoholic, you can't go run a liquor store. This woman
can't get high on your own supply.
This woman has done all this stuff. Who put her up? All the good people. I used to live in Orlando. All the good people, intelligent people in Orlando. This is the only one y'all can find. Now the question,
I don't have to do this. I'm gonna do it. These sisters is killing me. They killing me. First of all, a lot of men I'm not going to say all, don't want us in powers of position to begin with. Okay, we have to beg, borrow, and steal, scratch our ways to the top. And then you get up there and act like a whole damn fool. Mm-hmm. And not just a little bit. These heifers is taking it to the limit and above.
Yeah.
Like, I'm blown away. How? Mm-hmm. And then you take advantage, not that you should take advantage of anybody, but then you take advantage of another woman of color. She must not have any family. Because had that been my auntie.
Oh, so Diva, listen, we already.
Huh? Had that been me and my sister?
Listen, let me say something.
I'm pulling up.
This touches home because my precious mother is 90 years old, my in auntie. Her right mind and everything and all that. But I thank God that my sister, even though maybe my sister don't agree on everything, but the one thing about it, my sister is in charge of the power of attorney, and my sister's making sure her stuff is right and taken care of.
Well, we watching everybody. We don't care.
She don't have to worry about that. But to sit up there and they watch her now. They watch it. They don't let nobody just come to mama house, knocking on the door, and don't because people are slick. They try to call and all. We had somebody calling her phone. I happened to be on the phone with her. They were calling the house phone, and somebody was asking something about her mortgage. She's like, I don't have one. My house been paid for years. But I said, Mama, just hang up the phone. Don't even listen to them. They just try to get you some type of
scammer.
But here's the thing about the fact that you would sit up there, because this is Regina Hill. Guess what, Regina? You might be in prison, but one day you're going to be old. Yes, you already look old. Okay. You already look old. But one day you're going to be old.
Come on, Pastor.
And what goes around comes around. That's somebody's mama.
That's somebody's mama.
Oh,
auntie, cousin. Now, she done been here 96 years, and she, got a little nest egg, and now you done squandered that away. And there's no getting that back.
No. Trouble in the barnyard. But when we read the story, Diva, who did this sound like? It sounded like, Tiffany Henyard.
Your friend. That sound like your friend.
Our friend.
Your secret admirer.
Yeah, my secret admirer. Go on, girl. Leave me alone.
Go on now. Go on now.
If you got any sense in you, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Let me know that leave me alone.
Yes, sir. Yeah, on that.
Listen, but I'm serious. And you're going to see in this, that's why I call this series Trouble in the Barnyard. Something's wrong because when we look at these 13 ladies there, we got the mayor. We're going to let you all know about the mayor of New Orleans, Miss Cantrell. She got about 3 scandals going on right now. She being evicted out of her apartment and she the mayor. Okay? We got Fani Willis, who has perjured herself and intimidated witnesses and all like that. And everybody, she was just in a International Women's something this past week when she spoke, and they were just honoring her about 1,000 women there in Atlanta. And I said there, now, all you women sitting there clapping, hey, daddy. Y'all ain't say nothing about Nathan Wade's wife, who he put out with no insurance and no place to stay, just to be with her. Oh, what about the one? Come on, man. Come on. So listen, there's a lot going on with this. And so we've got to look at, is this all coincidental that all these women in these metropolitan large cities are being put in leadership positions and then they're getting there and they're not doing what they're supposed to do? Or is it just coincidence? Hey, Tanya, listen, put your comments down below. Let me know what you think. But here it is. Here it is right here. Regina Hill, City Commissioner of Orlando. Down for $100,000, getting a facelift. Well, she got duped on that one. I'm just gonna tell you that. Just gonna tell you. She got duped on that one. But she is. We gotta look at this and really see what's going on, what's happening, and why it's happening. And we want to pray for that lady, the 96-year-old lady, who, she robbed allegedly. And Orlando, I used to live there for several years. Listen, when they have the new election to replace Regina, come on, can y'all get somebody that's reputable? Can you get somebody that's that really it has the ability to represent you well? Come on, we got to do that. We got to do better. We got to do better. We got to do better. And what can I say? That's our segment for tonight on Trouble in the Barnyard. Black women in leadership. Put your comments down below. I know many of you may not like this. Well, were you a black man and why you going against somebody? Well, if somebody don't call it out, it's going to continue. So if you don't like it, put your comments down below. Let me know. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. And we will definitely respond to you. And let's keep a dialogue going. In our next podcast, we're going to be talking about someone else. And let's just say we're going to go to the Baltimore, Maryland area. We're going to be in Baltimore about 2-3 weeks because there's several black women there in Baltimore who've just made a mess of things. And so we'll see what happens. But I'll tell you what, we'll be right back after this short break. And we're going to finish up with our segment, Ask the RN Diva. We'll be right back.
I am a veteran of the United States Air Force, and one of the biggest thrills I always got caught up in was going out into the field. And when you're out in the field, you have to be ready. And what we ate, we didn't pack lunches. We went out there with MREs, meals ready to eat. And I had a couple that were great. I loved it. And now there's a company that prepares survival kits and meal preparedness kits, and it's called My Patriot Supply. Let me get that right, My Patriot Supply. And you can go through our website, or you can go through our streaming and punch in squaredaway.life. That's a military term, squared away. So if anybody knows that, they know somebody's a veteran around here. But they have really, really great stuff. They are run by veterans, and I'm quite sure that they are in the know for what, and then being in Florida or wherever you are, there's disaster preparedness, hurricanes, tornadoes. It doesn't hurt to have something already stacked and ready to go. So once again, My Patriot Supply, and you could reach them through squaredaway.life.
All right, squaredaway.life. You don't want to miss out on that website about that, because one of our sponsors here, then go to squaredaway.life, powered by My Patriot Supply. All right, welcome back. We're so glad that you joined us here. Diva has got a new setup there. There's some technical difficulties there, but hey, we're so glad to have her back with us. And it's that time now. It's time for Ask the RN Diva. And definitely want you to send your questions in to her. There it is right there at the bottom of the screen, TheRCTVNetworks@gmail.com. And Diva,
yes, sir.
Are you ready to share with us your expertise?
I'm gonna do my darndest. Yeah.
You're gonna do your darndest. Hey, but before we do that, I want to share something because Elon Musk, the owner of Tesla, SpaceX, and X.com, he posted a meme that I thought was today. As a matter of fact, it was today. And I thought this was awesome right here because this explains it all right here why we do this segment. He says, when sending or soliciting, I think is what he meant, when sending and soliciting medical advice, ask your doctor, but also ask an experienced nurse. Nurses are underrated. Yeah. And we're so glad to have the RN Diva. That's her name. She has over 30 years of experience in the medical field. She's a combat veteran as well, but thank her for her service. She's going to share with you whatever she has, because she does get questions that you can send those. You see those down at the bottom of the screen, and we're going to go ahead and turn that over to her now for our next segment called Ask the RN Diva. Go ahead.
Well, where's the lie? Oh, Elon Musk, one time listen, if he never said anything right, that would be the only thing right there. If you want to live, ask a nurse. Because you may be at the hospital. A lot of people want to worship doctors all the time. 9 times out of 10, 9.99999, like they're doing to Maury Povich. We got the answers. So if you want to live, ask a nurse. Anyway, so for our Ask the RN Diva, it'll be something very, very quick tonight. One of my questions were explain long COVID. So, we went through the whole pandemic and we had COVID. And then now as time has gone on, they released us back out into the wild, and we have COVID still lurking, mixed with RSV, mixed with the flu. So you have a plethora of gunk out there. So long COVID is people are experiencing this thing, and it lingers. This is the COVID that has come back, and it's lingering. It is, you're having more of a shortness of breath all the time. It's more of a everyday thing. It's not, when you get a cold and the symptoms go away. Not with this COVID. This COVID is sticking around. There are more and more people that have had COVID and that have been diagnosed with long COVID that are getting inhalers. Doctors are prescribing inhalers to open up their lungs, because really that's pretty much the basis of it. That's the basics, just to get you to breathe a little bit better. So you'll see more and more people with inhalers. They don't necessarily have asthma, but what they do have is an inflammation in their lung tissue that's giving them pause, that's giving them difficulty breathing, that's giving them wheezes, stuff that they probably never had before. But long COVID is sticking around longer, hence the name long COVID. So folks, I said this during the pandemic. I used to do a little spot on Facebook Live where I would call it the Corona Chronicles. Okay. That was something I just did just because I was bored and because I had a lot of people asking me questions. Folks, the biggest thing is washing your hands. You don't want anybody telling you what to do. I get it. But what you need to do is protect yourself and your family. And if you don't do anything else, wash your hands. Keep your distance from people, especially if they're coughing and hacking and this, that, and the third. Stay away from them. Use your noodle. You know what I'm saying? Just like wash your hands. If you thinking you're washing your hands too much, wash them again, because that is your first defense to get rid of germs. So don't be afraid to be the only one wearing a mask. Don't be afraid to be the only one washing your hands. Don't be afraid to be the only one distancing yourself from folks, giving folks room, because you'll be the one that can breathe tomorrow. You'll be the one who's not sick as a dog tomorrow. So to heck with what they think. Take care of you and your family. If you have any questions for me, ask the RN Diva. You can send it down at the questions below. The RNDiva@gmail.com. I will give you my opinion. I will not give you any medical advice. You can get medical advice from the guy in the white coat. You can come to me and just give me a good old question, and I'll do my best to opine. And if I don't know the answer, I'll find it, and then we'll learn together. So if you'd like to send me a question again, send it to the RNDiva@gmail.com.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. When you talked about having the pump there, I'm one of those ones that has the pump.
Are you asthmatic?
Supposedly, yeah.
Now, were you asthmatic before?
Not really. I mean, I was, but I never had an asthma attack. But right after COVID, ever since COVID, I have to 4 times a day have to do that little thingy. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not good. Knock on wood, I never got COVID.
That's right. Well, that's hey.
But I did get RSV, and
RSV.
Yeah. Don't. Just the thought of you. Oh my God. So yeah, I'm glad. I'm thankful that I didn't get that, because it's not. It just makes you feel like crap.
Yeah.
It makes you feel like crap. So yeah. So folks, send me your questions and let's get after it.
Diva, thank you so much for that. Ask the RN Diva segment is much needed and is much appreciated, and we thank you. And like you said, you have your questions, send them to her, and she will be glad to give you that information. Now, before we go tonight, we want to remind you that we are celebrating our 25th podcast on Real Talk with the RN Diva. Woo! Yeah.
And then my computer took a dump. Well, gotta buy a new one. And it's a brand new computer.
That's all right. That's why we need you to send. Right there, it's on the board. Send on the screen. Even tell them how they can be a help and a blessing to you.
If you'd like to donate to the cause, you could send me a donation at my Venmo at RNDiva01.
And CashApp.
Yeah, my Venmo is at RNDiva01, and my CashApp is $RNDiva01. You see, I'm keeping it in the same vein so I can remember. So, and Pastor Robert, how could they donate to you if they feel the need, if they'd like to?
There's a need. If you all can notice, we're trying to upgrade our systems here. So you can also send, if you're on Coinbase, you can send it cryptocurrency at Rob Carpenter II. That's my wallet there. PayPal at TheRCTVNetwork. Venmo at TheRCTVNetwork. And on Cash App, $TheRCTVNetworks with an S. Whatever you give, you will greatly appreciate it. Also, if you'd like to do something more on a monthly basis, you can also give something here called buymeacoffee.com/TheRCTVNetwork. Buy us a coffee, $5. You can do a one-time gift, or you can do it a monthly gift, $5. And that's 2 coffees is $10, one for me, one for her. Just go to buymeacoffee.com/RCTV Network, and that will be something you can do for a very nominal fee of $5 to help us here. Also, do what we're doing here. Keep coming to you each week, because now we've done 25 podcasts, and now we're ready to do it 25 more. And also, for those of you on TikTok, please be sure to give us some coins and all that good stuff. You know how you do it on TikTok. Also, that goes right here to the RCTV Network. And I'm excited, Diva. I'm so excited. And I just ain't hiding. I'm about to lose control.
No, sir.
Listen, we've enjoyed it for you here tonight. And be sure to share this with somebody, these stories. And also, for those of you listening on your podcast platform, share this. Give us a rating there on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Amazon Music. All those different podcast platforms. Give us a like and give us some love, and share this with some people. And as we continue to grow in this podcast sphere, don't forget, We'll do an update later on, maybe later this week, or the first part of this week. We'll do another recap and get our attorney at large that's on retainer, Deborah Hill out of Baltimore, Maryland, because Tiffany Henyard got some stuff still going on. She won't stop. She's the gift that keeps on giving. And Fani Willis is another gift that keeps on giving. Isn't that right?
Yeah. I don't know about a gift, but yeah.
I tell you what, if we ever run out of subjects, we got enough between the Trouble in the Barnyard, Black Women
I'm
in
trying to
Leadership.
tell you. Period. The Unlucky 13. Absolutely.
And don't forget, you all, we told you the information about if you have squatters, if you're going on vacation, you're going away, or you have a house that's vacant, handle your business now.
Get your house sitter. Get a house sitter.
Yeah.
And tell them where your guns are. It may be time for the shootout at the OK Corral. Tell them where everything is. Yes.
Diva, one thing before we go. Speaking of shootout at OK Corral, do you know that there's a black female judge in Illinois appointed by President Obama? Guess what she did yesterday? And
no.
She said it's legal that illegal immigrants can purchase and own guns. That's where we are, Saints. That's where we are, folks. That's where we are. Yeah. Some of you can't get a gun, and you live here. But now she said the legal aliens, legal immigrants, can get one in the state of Illinois. That's all we have for you this week on Real Talk with RN Diva. Diva, say goodnight.
I'm going to say goodnight, but before I do, to all of my veterans out there, every armed forces, doesn't matter which one you are in or from, all my veterans, just know that I love you and I got your back. I got your back.
That's good. We're praying for you all. You veterans. We're praying for you. Things are going to change. Things are going to get better. Have a good night, everybody. Woo.
I have no idea what happened. And it still won't come on.